So, welcome back. Picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, pretty much the end around 225, where if you remember with the last episode, we basically worked out that, hey, Bronbund here is probably about to win. It may take them a couple turns to win, depending on how stuff shifts around and how the atomic weapons go flying. But the point of this stream is to finish this video up and then probably do a short bit after the video that will be some spreadsheets where I go over sort of find it interesting and how the world population changed over time. So yeah, I think based off of where I left at the end of last turn, we should be pretty much done. Bellerod here could benefit from peripheral mining.
Aye, aye, sir.
May have already played that, in which case that would have just been a waste of political power. We got a couple constructions done, mostly in Bellerod, mostly things that I'm not super worried about. Hansen has its high-tech industry done, so we should be secure as far as inputs, as long as the district situation recovers. So let's go ahead and let's cycle the turn and see if the logistic situation recovers, and/or if we just win or not win. See if we lose, because they only need to get they need to get a little bit more than 0.8, right? They need to get like a delta of I think 3. So they need to go up by 3, or they need to drive the Reich down while driving themselves up, such that there's a change of 3, right? Right now, Decel Reich is like 7 or 27.2. So if they get 0.8, the Bronburn, the people who are watching right now, they would be eligible to win if they have 25 points or more than the next closest person, which is Decel Reich, which has like 27.2. So you get into the sort of scenario of, okay, well then that means they need to get 3 points. 3 or 2 points worth of stuff, which probably isn't how they're going to win, because right now they're at war with Decel Reich, where they need to take a little bit of score off of Decel Reich, which is probably how they're going to win, right? It's going to be some combination of meeting halfway in the middle of that delta. Because also the other way around, you can't think about it. They can't just drive points off of Decel Reich. They themselves have to get a little bit of points. But it's only a delta swing of about 3. And in the last stream, I think they did a delta swing of 9. So, actually no, they did more than delta swing of 9. So they gained almost a whole 9 victory points in the last stream. So them pulling a delta of 3 is expected. And that's with us doing all this crazy stuff up in their territory, right? They lost a lot of territory to us, and they still went up 9 victory points, right? So I'm expecting them, probably even before we end up with a war with them again, they'll probably go over the victory point threshold and technically win. So we're going to play this out and see if we can recover the logistic situation. And maybe if something really changes, maybe they're still out, or I recover faster than I think we're going to, we can attempt another offensive, maybe to delay them a little bit more. But I suspect that we're going to watch this game and probably at peace. We will probably not fight another war, which will mean the next couple parts will probably be a bit boring. Taking a moment there to clear a bit of phlegm out of the back of my throat. Now we're in Decel Reich. So these are the guys we don't want to see losing. So seeing them doing glorious offensives would be a good thing to see. We're probably not going to see that because we probably don't have enough reconnaissance value on the areas where the offensives would need to occur to be sort of sweeping. And right now, from our spy reports, it is implied that Decel Reich has lost all their ICBM launchers, and that Bronbund still has one. And from when we were at war with them, are able to very profilically use that one. So they might only have one, but they're getting away with being able to shoot like every turn, which can do quite a bit of population damage. So we made it back to our turn. We have 5 decisions, 99 reports. So we presumably haven't lost yet. Take a quick look at the victory point review. Yeah, so we can see the delta is swinging. So these were at 70.2 and 49.2. So basically that was a 0.8 swing. They only needed a 3 swing to win. So they haven't won yet, but they're getting closer. I don't want enforcement. Enforcement might be what we're going to do next game, depending on how the Reddit votes. And we did need that extension. I may have accidentally played the extension twice, because we did it across 2 different streams. So Elite Snipers does nothing, because I think Elite Snipers is probably a commerce choice. Oh no, Elite Snipers is Mind. So Mind's at 100, so we can't raise Mind. On the same time, it doesn't raise anything else, so we'll take the Elite Snipers. Everything's trending down, which in some cases is fine. Like, the bullets trending down is fine. Especially seeing as I think our main source of bullets, which was our ammo factory, is not working. In fact, the ammo factory got destroyed. The ammo factory is gone. We have no source of bullets. So the bullets going down makes sense. If you have no bullets, the bullets don't go up. Or if you have no production of bullets, bullets don't go up. Right, so, in fact, actually, at minus 19 bullets when there's no production of bullets, that's reasonable. Full reasonable. Adds workers. Need to get enough workers in here, hopefully, that we can start maintaining the mothballed stuff. And maybe start turning some of it back on. Okay, so supplies going out to the troops is bad, but they're getting some food, which is hopefully doing some mitigation on combat losses. Or on losses to lack of food, basically. Some food getting out, I think, is more valuable than no food getting out. Send up the grunts if we logistics for that. Not much we're gonna do here. Probably gonna check mining. Hopefully no mines are empty. Yeah, we got about 7 turns before Belrod's mine runs empty. Needs another modify. Belrod has finished everything except for the rail station. So that should mean that Belrod will start to get happy over time and hopefully start to attract more population. I haven't been paying quite enough attention here, and we lost some workers from them quitting. So we do need to come in here and probably raise wages.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, that'll at least stem the population loss.
Standing by.
Order acknowledged. Order acknowledged.
Okay, more people. Most of the people here are actually migrating out, so we're basically buying people to stem the population loss due to migration elsewhere. In fact, most of these guys are probably apparently migrating to Belrod. Which is somewhat good to see. Quality life is good here, even though we could probably want these people increasing faster. Because they are struggling a little bit to maintain their buildings. Austerlitz looking like... probably not having any problems maintaining their buildings. Yeah, that's good to see. Quality life score is going up, but it's still a bit low. But it is good enough that I'm willing to go ahead and give it some zone borders back again. We'll give it the ruins, and I'll actually give it the farm over here. Take a little bit of burden off of the capital. In fact, I think that's a civilian farm, so they might actually be better at working it than the capital is at this point. So we gave them a source petrol so they could try to redevelop the petrol. We got a farm, which if they're able to work, will get them a little bit more income. Gave them a recycling facility. Oh, and the recycling facility was controlled by these guys, so I should be able to get that running. In fact, that was muffled, so let's go ahead and activate that. We'll see if they can hire up that for that building. Capital's the capital of the capital. It's still suffering from being struck with a nuclear weapon 3 times in a row. Quality of life is going up. Workers are going up. Happiness is still a bit low, but it's tolerable. Given what happened to it. And then Hansen. If I was desperate for more troops, we could do another draft recruit from Hansen. Quality of life is fine here. If anything, I'd like their income to go down so I could lower their wages, but we'll live with it. And with that, we've been through all the territories. Let's check some of the letterbox stuff. Corporation, we can ignore. Foreign Affairs. Braunburned is trying to instigate another war with us. We do want to, if we can hold off on that until we actually see our units regenerate. So, do I have... Don't have the cards. Okay, so, also looking, they're still above 40. I think 25 is the point where they'll frequently declare if you're below that. So I think I'll hold off on trying to bribe them. If they drive it any lower, then we'll try to bribe them again. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much the turn. There's not much I can do to really get things coming back, operating faster. Yeah, so let's cycle the turn. Things are recovering. The question is, are they recovering fast enough? The answer is probably no. If the rate of Braunburn gaining points continues as it did on the last turn, we should technically lose in 4 turns from the start of the stream. So, we'll see if it keeps going at that rate. And to be fair, if it continues going at the rate that it did last turn, they'll officially be over 50% next turn. Which technically won't mean they'll win, but that's pretty much the point where, under normal circumstances, you would win, unless you had a close runoff race with a neighbor, which they currently do. Waiting for the ad to do its thing. It's gonna be a little bit of struggle on such large planets with such large armies. I think last time we looked at Braunbund's army, they were up at 600,000 infantry, so not including tanks and planes and the Jedi ICBM launcher. So it takes a little bit of while for the AI to think about what it's going to do when they got so much. And we are kind of indirectly doing some damage to them, so they got units caught in a couple pockets, which are not replaceable for them. Granted, those units also aren't drawing off their supplies, so it's not really helping Desol Reich that much. It's basically the units that they were keeping on our borders have become permanently stuck there. And Vinus and Mark here. Mark, however you want to pronounce them. I think they're still technically in 4th. I think they're the only major besides me and Reich that aren't destroyed. The friendly Republican forces, I think, have actually been more destroyed than Steel. And Steel spent most of the game at this point at like 0.2% of the land of the planet. They had like 12 hexes or something somewhere. So yeah, they're pretty... Most of the majors at this point have become non-existent. Went from, what, 6 to 4? Yeah, 6. 6 including me to 4. So that's actually not most. But most of the ones I'm in opposition of have basically come from non-existent, because even Viners Mark is pretty much gone at this point. 4 decisions, 98 reports. No reports saying we've lost yet. Okay, so they stayed about static for the turn. Military research at this point just doesn't even matter. There's nothing left to discover. There's nothing left to research. So actually, let's just put this 50-50.
Order acknowledged.
Applied science is fine because we've discovered everything. Is there any mechanized and interesting stuff in here that I haven't done? Is mechanized all the top? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so I think I've either done mechanized siege, grenadiers, or I haven't. So I know siege is artillery. So let's do mechanized siege. It's one of the ones we need to get to mechanized grenadiers if we don't have it yet. So I'll play this one. We did actually succeed on the roll. I was a little worried the roll would fail. Not that it would make things much worse than they were already. Okay, so looking at it, we did manage for the first time to hire everyone to meet... Oh, okay. Almost there. No, if that's properly mothballed, that should have actually been enough workers. Ah, okay, so that's why it's showing as yellow. So this one's showing as yellow not because we didn't provide enough workers for it, but because we didn't. In ED 800, it was actually level 6. Showing as yellow because it downgraded from 6 to 5. But we now, in theory, have enough workers to work everything in a mothball state. Which means, as far as Ergstone's concerned, Ergstone has recovered enough to do its own to maintain all its buildings. Which also means the logistic situation is not going to get better by making Ergstone better in practice. Because Ergstone's still pretty broken. We finished the rail. We did finish the rail, and we're having worker problems here. I think Austerlitz has probably recovered most of the way, so I'm actually going to give Austerlitz that rail asset back. Try to make it vaguely hexagonal. Oh, I went a little bit too far that way. Oh. And then to get them to work that a little bit better, we'll actually give them all those workers, so probably won't be enough to cover the workers here. But it should be enough to at least cover the upkeep. And then hopefully they'll also start being able to hiring from their population pool.
Standing by.
Order acknowledged. Order acknowledged.
Keep acquiring us more people. Mining, I think, should still be... Yeah, we're still fine on mining. Construction. Hansen finished its rail station. Okay, so that should help with the logistics. At least the logistics going out east. Okay, so as far as repairs are going, I think logistics, if it's going to improve, should be improving. And we can see in the east, where we're not reliant on capital trucks. In fact, that might actually be a temporary solution to try and improve logistics in the east. Is going to be real lazy about this, but we're going to sort of scoop down here with Hansen and tell Hansen to take over this truck hub. Because Hansen has the workforce to work that truck hub. So now that we moved it over to Hansen, we're going to activate it and hope that Hansen can hire up and actually get that operational. And if they can, that should at least stop troops from starving the east here. Because it looks like it's just the southeast portion where they were starving. If that's the case, then we might start trying to draft again in Hansen. Which weirdly might actually accelerate us. It might, well, accelerate me losing. Because the population loss from Hansen might help Bronbun win. As weird as that might sound, recruiting more troops might actually help someone else win. I'm going to do the same with the supply base. See if that improves the logistics situation. Getting those activated. They probably are too damaged to work. But we'll see. To be fair, that should help with maintaining workers in the capital, because we're just taking two things off of the capital. Obviously can't take off anything in the capital main hex itself. Okay, and everything else as far as decline looks fine. Let's go ahead and... before I forget, let's make sure that we're still reasonably happy with Bronbund. One way to definitely get everything falling apart is to take an atomic strike from Bronbund again. Okay, so with that, let's cycle the turn. And we'll see if Bronbund is continued to be stalled, or if they start getting points again. It's possible... well, I didn't look too much at what happened to Dassel Reich's score on the last turn. I did look at Bronbund's, which we saw didn't move. It might be possible that Bronbund didn't go up because they're actually losing population from one of the encircled cities. That would make a lot of sense. We do have two of their cities encircled right now. And I would not be surprised if, like, food shortages or something was driving the loyalty down in those cities. So that's something I could check. The loyalty in one of those cities has been dropping. We could possibly try to siphon a little bit of population off it as well. I haven't been really macroing the forces either. I think we're taking a little bit of additional losses due to the supply issues with food. And we can see one area where there's a choke point where the two sides are fighting over the choke point. Okay, so we can see that they've stopped. Like, we're seeing motion on Bronburn, but the Bronburn thinking is actually finished, and we're shown Viner's Mark. Which, based on how long the Viner's Mark turn is taking, the Viner's Mark is not completely gone. They actually got some thoughts going on in that robot head. And now we see the Reich. Really, our path back into the game involves the Reich doing really well. I just don't expect the Reich to be doing that well. They've been in decline for the past couple turns, so it would not surprise me if they do not find the way to hold. It's thinking. There we go. 7 losses, nor made kills, made 2 decisions, or got 2 decisions and 99 reports. Okay, population happiness is up. That's good to see. You want to organize a party? Well, that's up to the bureaucrats, my friend.
Copy that.
So, as always, checking the victor points. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, so as soon as we cycle the intern, we should lose. We should win, or they should win as soon as we load into the next turn. Let me just do a quick check of vid to make sure it didn't tell me we lost in the vid. Nope. Yeah, so we should, as soon as I cycle the turn, we should lose. Ronburn has 51.7, and that's more than 25 over Desalric. So, when we cycle the turn, we should lose, unless I suddenly get enough population or something to swing it enough, which I almost certainly won't.
Standing by.
We'll still play the turnout, see if we can delay the inevitable, but that's probably a no. So we'll take the people there. You're happy and apparently perfectly paid. Your happiness is improving. Oh, and we changed where the worker force need to be. So that's why the population, the workforce didn't change very much. Austerlitz. Did supply enough workers to get that working. Did not supply enough workers to get it working at full speed. So we'll try to solve that on the incoming turn by giving them more colonists. But their workforce is growing, right? So they just didn't get enough to cover that and their other requirements. Cancellation domes. Okay, so you have recovered enough that it's time to start reactivating stuff to get the government running again. So the truck station is probably the highest priority. Try to activate the truck station. And what was the luck with getting damaged assets running? No points out of that truck station. No points out of that supply base. Instructions. We finished the rail station. So we're basically seeing that logistics appears to start to recover, so that's good to see. Mining overview is probably still a no. Yeah, so we got a mine that 6 turns out from getting the upgrade. Okay, so we're just going to cycle the turn. We're probably, at the beginning of next turn, going to get the declaration that we have effect lost. Or, well, if it was me in the winning position, we would get the declaration that we'd won. I don't necessarily know how it works when we lose, because I have not actually played a game out to a defeat before. Usually they either tend to be non-nuclear stalemates, when something comes up and I don't play a game to completion, or I win. So this is actually going to be the first time I have properly lost. And yeah, based on the victory points, I know unless something changes on this end turn drastically, it should be a loss. It should be telling us we lose when we come into the end of this end turn. Which I think at that point will give us access to all the statistics for the factions. Initializing the big, massive army. Do their little bit of victory march here. And to be fair, in the end, we're not dead. We're getting bronze on the podium, but we're not dead. I managed to keep the country, after basically a dozen atomic strikes, functional. Even now, it's functional. Even when we were pretty dysfunctional, we've still been able to do massive encirclements and stuff like that. So there were paths back to winning. And yeah, we can see. Well, I didn't get the logistics back together quickly enough, so we actually did have some units starve to death, which is a shame. So that's a sign that we were probably even if we weren't about to lose, that we probably weren't coming back from it very quickly, with units just dropping dead from food delivery issues. And again, because I think that's basically we need one of the rail assets between either the capital or Austerlitz to be functional. So with both of those cities having every last worker killed, that undermined the functionality of the logistics network. Okay, we're on Dessel Reich. So really, if anything, this is the turn where Dessel Reich has to demonstrate that they haven't lost the game as silver player. So they can somehow get like a delta swing back the other way of like 0.8 points. Well, no, it'd be a delta swing of 1.7 back. They'd stall their loss, but I don't think the AI is going to do that. Especially after having a turn where they did delta swing of 2.5 in one go. Ronburned is now so strong it has won the game. We have lost. So we have decisions. You can, like many a 4X game, after you lose, unless like you have nothing left. After you lose, you can normally keep playing. So we could keep playing, we could keep doing decisions. But as I'm said, we pretty much lost at this point. If I was really, really determined, we're maybe not in a state where I couldn't come back from it. If I really want to do a grinding, attritional campaign for months. But I think it is time. This is actually a game started on the last patch. And there's now a new patch with worker dormitories and population housing and stuff like that you can build. Which I think is what we're going to do is... the next game of this was obviously going to be on the next patch, because we're going to launch on the next patch. Even this one at this point is on the next patch. We're not playing on the old patch, but because the game was started in the old patch, we don't have access to those dormitories and stuff. So the next game, or the next time we play Shadow Empire will be on the new patch. Will probably be some combination of the runner-ups and the previous poll that I sort of put up at the beginning to design this map. So this was the one that won originally in the threesome choice that I gave out. Based on what I'm saying on Reddit, I put out that basically, would you want to see me? Well, basically, I decided I was going to do the number 2, which was going to do a. Oh, now I forget the planet type. The Desert Oasis planet type. I forget exactly what his name is. where I was going to do it with a very high ruin count. So I was going to try to max the pre-collapse population so we get really big ruins. And I was putting out on Reddit what alignment set people want. So that's still going to be open for voting. So if you go on Reddit and find me on Reddit, in the Shadow Empire Reddit, if you want me to do a particular combination on the profiles, feel free to leave a comment there saying what sort of profiles you'd like to see. Right now, what appears to be winning, well, to be fair, it's 2 votes, so if you want something different, you can go and change that vote by just voting. It's not going to be that hard. Right now, what appears to be winning is they want me to do Autocracy, Enforcement, Fist, which is a very interesting combo. Some things people associate with Autocracy are actually Fist, but yeah, that's an interesting triplet on that combo. So that's probably, unless the voting changes between this stream and the next time I stream Shadow Empire, that will probably what we end up doing. But if you want to see a different combo, like you want to see Government or you want to see Heart, let me know in Reddit. So if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously this is the last part of the Shadow Empire gameplay for this Medusa planet. What I think I'm going to do after this episode is I'm going to do sort of a little bit of going through the spreadsheets, going through the reports. Because there's various different things you can go see. Doubly so after you've won or lost the game. So what am I thinking of? Stats. So we can see stats that you normally can't see during the game when you have just lost or just won. So for example, we can see the troop statistics, right? So I think the next part is going to be me going through statistics that are in-game, and then I'll head work a little bit on a spreadsheet. So we'll see if I can find the statistics I'm thinking about in-game that I put in the spreadsheet, or if I need to bring up the spreadsheet. So that'll be what the next part is, and then there'll be a short break between the statistics video and the next run, because I'm going to put something else on the channel. It'll be something short, and then we'll come back with the next one. So until next time, hope you've all been enjoying it. Catch you all in the next part, and until then, hope you have a good time. Bye for now.